welcome back to Annabelle and Jay talking about the life and times of our spiritual awakenings here on A Chat with Jay as a part of the 1111 Spiritual Transit podcast with Jackie Lyons, of course, my partner over in Canada, French Canadian. Here we go. Jackie, here's one for you. You'll love having a chat. You'll love having a chat, partner. Don't worry. She's at a Halloween party being an angel. You got the angel and the now. That segues into two things, actually. I was going to say devil, but we don't want to say that. But anyway. Oh, look, it frightens me so much. Anyway, but what two things we were chatting about. And we're talking about people particularly picking out a particular healer. And we were talking about that on off air. And we'll talk about it on our chat. People, we know ourselves that we won't heal the world as such, but our voice needs to be heard, and we've always believed in that. Whatever you do the best. People come to you to help. The particular people need to hear you. I heard that from Tony Robbins when I did the Tony Robbins course about 3 months ago. He said doesn't matter, there's no such thing as, he believes there's no such thing as oversaturation of the market, because your voice will attract to people who need to hear it.
Exactly.
Tell us exactly what you just said to me, and I thought it was absolutely powerful. However it went.
Well, the first thing, just to connect with what you just said, I do believe that all healers of any kinds on this planet have a list of people they have to support. Like before I incarnated, I said, I'm going to help all of you. Yes, 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 yes. Right? So that's my job also, to speak up and be visible, because people they will recognize my voice. They will recognize something in my eyes. They will recognize themselves in my story. And then they'll know that we got to work together that we're a part of their journey, right? And what I was sharing is that not all healers are meant for you. And it's not because someone has lots of followers and they have all of those courses and workshops that they have the right energy for you. And what I always want to do with my clients is, you have an inner compass in your heart. And if you stop this beautiful mind of yours, you'll be able to connect to it. And once you connect there, then you can know, is that course good for you? Is that program good for you? Is working with Annabelle good for me? Is working with Jay good for me? Whatever you have in your mind, and your mind is going to tell you, yeah, but this could happen. This could happen. Your mind is going to bring you to
that's your subconscious inner mind. Say, let's say you and me have connected, right? You knew straight away this was supposed to happen. You knew it, didn't you? And I knew it. There's a reason why I put certain things on why I go and do what I do. And I know that the people who need to see, I got, as I said, big shout out, Karen's, Mandel, Steve Forcini. We got Chris. We got Chris from the UK. I got Christine Chandler. I got so many people that we've connected with. But this is the channel. This is what we're doing. Jackie, I've always said. So you're saying you exactly what you're saying. People will hear the message and then they'll come forth.
Yeah, and it's important to I can share. I was in so many workshops and so many trainings and I did so many things. And at some point, if somebody that I was following was doing a live or a workshop and I couldn't attend it, I started feeling anxious. I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to make it. And yes, they have a replay. It's not the same, whatever.
Well, it's true.
And then I realized, and then during that whole process, it was like, yeah, but Annabelle, you're your own healer. You have a lot of wisdom you can bring forth for yourself. Stop looking outside of you for everything, right? You don't need all of these activations all the time. I mean, you can get some. I'm not saying it's bad. But if you're feeling anxiety of not following someone or not being able to attend something, there is a negative attachment. That's how I see it. There's something that isn't right. And when I did that, I had almost, a few months that I was like, feeling a bit weird about it. But it created this inner strength within me so much more. Like this lion strength inside of me that knew where I was going to go. It's
Yeah, it's
like
funny.
all.
It's funny about that though. See, look at it that way, right? Hang on, I better go over this way. But because obviously I say I can channel, but you also you channel animal medicines and stuff like that. I use animal medicine spirit cards, and you can channel in the energies of what those, like it's funny. Obviously, I'm a big cartoon character, a cartoon book character, and I'm into all that stuff and pro wrestling. So I'm into all those characters. The characters symbolize something too within yourself, and you channel yourself, whether it be that, whether it be animal spirits, whether it be crystals, whether it be grounding, whether it be you and me. You knew exactly, and this is the funny thing you were saying. You go exactly that this was supposed to happen at this time because our frequencies were at the same. Can I ask you?
Mhm.
We're being people pleasers, right? We've attracted certain people because of certain patterns. Do you think they were meant to happen, or do you think it was meant to happen for them or us?
I think people pleasing is a two-way street. I don't
Yep.
think it's just us giving. I think there's a receiver on the other end. I think for me, people pleasing was just not one person, right? It was everyone. There was no, there was no limit. It was like I was people pleaser with my family members, with my partners, with my friends. It was really hard for me to say no most of my life.
What was the lesson?
The lesson was,
What was your lesson? Because there's all. I mean, I'm sorry to cut you off. I only found out this year that when I went down to those deep, dark spots in the world, in myself, and work out that there's a bloody pattern. This pattern that I've had, and now I've not to say I've broken it, but the acknowledgement is pretty much breaking the seal, and then it's basically walking from that cell into the, say, dark into light and go, oh, eyes are sore. Hang on. Oh, eyes are sore. But you can rub your eyes a little bit and get them used to the new world. What do you think about that?
I think all of the events that we had through our lifetimes are, as you know, they're showing shadow sides of us. And a lot of times we just don't want to look at it. We're like, no, 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 I don't want to see that. I prefer people pleasing. I feel so much better when I help people. I don't want to look at the part that feels empty when I don't. I just want to look at how good it makes me feel when I.
That's right. But I'll throw something at you now, and you will agree with me. Because between helping someone and people pleasing is two different things.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the intention. That's right. It's the intention, isn't it? So the intention of we're actually people pleasing because of the subject, because of the subconscious training or subconscious patterns that are coming in. We have to, because if we don't people please, no one will like us. I mean, I went into a situation this weekend where I was fully exposed, right? And because I had never the confidence when I got in there, because I was always told I was no good, I was this, I was this, I was this, I was this. You walk in there with that mindset, of course you're rooted. I walked in this week and gone, I smashed 90%. There was a few mistakes. Yeah, of course. Mm-hmm. There's a few little mistakes here and there. Yep, do this. But I accepted it and gone, this is great. I still went into, was that all right? That's still that's still a bit more,
progress.
It's progress, but also you can see the old stuff going, is everything all right? But you use that as going, you want to be heard to say, yes, everything's fine. You need that reassurance. You don't need a reassurance if you feel it inside. It's nice to hear instead of being told. If you get where I mean, just to satisfy your own, I can breathe now. If you get where I'm going.
Yeah. And there's a big part of the inner critic, right? My inner critics, that part always comes, and it still comes, but now I'm more aware of it as a part of me instead of thinking it's me, right? It's like I'm not merged with these parts anymore. But it's very important to see. I know for me, which person in my family this inner critic is related to. What they were telling me then, I am telling myself now, to be perfect, to be always giving, there's so much like kind of requirements to be loved. And once you're able to actually observe how much those thoughts are influencing how you live, what you say, what you do, then you're reclaiming your power. At least you're aware of it. It's not that we're perfect because we're doing that work, but we're more aware of what's happening.
Absolutely. Going on to the dark night of the soul, you said that's part of your training as well. Obviously, you know I'm into the shadow. It can be very traumatic, as we know. What is your plan of attack with that? Because you do open up. I mean, I think it's a case of, obviously I hit it, but then I guess it's a point where I did all that shadow work. I looked into myself. I asked myself those hard questions. What's your guidance on that one? How do you guide people through that?
I think it's like really about being compassionate with everything you're going through. The frustration, the anger, the isolation, the fear, the sadness, the negative thoughts, the thinking that nobody understands you, that your life is a big lie, that you grew up with all these people you don't connect with anymore, and your friends don't understand you. You don't even understand yourself anymore. You're in that void period that I talk about. It's like you're not who you were. You're not who you're gonna be. You're in that void and you have no idea who that person is, and you're connecting to shadow parts of you, the negative parts of you, the trauma, the people that are associated with that, the thoughts, the emotion. It's so overwhelming. So
it is, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's. I think a lot of people, if they don't know that's what's happening, and I didn't know that was what was going on for me, and that's why I want to be there for people now and create communities, because.
Yes.
And I think that's what's beautiful with Facebook and all of those platforms, because that created that, at least us being around the planet, even if there's nobody in my town. I understand what I'm going through. Maybe somebody in Australia does, right? so I think it's
yeah. Sorry, you dropped out there. Sorry.
Supporting each other, and I think it's like really like, but be compassionate with yourself. That's exactly what you need to do. And it's okay if you don't want to see people. It's okay if you don't want to drink anymore, don't want to eat the same thing, don't want to do anything that you liked before, because you're shedding all of this heaviness around you.
It's really funny you say that, right? Because obviously I'm in the rock scene, right? So you can just imagine what happens in that, right? But it's amazing that you just stick to your guns. I don't drink anymore because of certain situations in my life. I was in deletion mode. And the boys go, "Oh, it's nice that you drive. It's nice that you drive everywhere." I go, "I don't mind, mate. It's I don't care. I really don't. I mean, it's a case of I don't mind, but what's the point? I don't mind doing it because it's not only part of just, why wouldn't you? They go, oh, you just do it anyway. I go, well, mate, it's what it is, mate. It's you do what you got to do, because you don't drink, you drive. Okay, that's fine. It's a safe thing. You know what I mean? And they appreciate you for who they are. And I think we're in a point where people go, do they use you? Because people go, oh, people use you for that. I go, okay, you got to see where you are in yourself, and you made many points about being comfortable within yourself. And for you, what's the point for you that you're doing something for you to help you, and you know that your friends are there for you, and it's growth within you instead of being used?
I think again.
Does that make sense? So you got a bunch. Okay, you got a bunch of people that use you. Say the driving, right? Say you drive, right? You got to. How do you know? And how would you tell someone? How do you know that you're not people pleasing compared to someone go, I'll do it because they respect me?
I think for me, it's really my heart will tell me. There's gonna be something that makes me feel uncomfortable with the relationship now, because I have connected with that part of me now. Before I was ignoring it. I had the red flags. I had the feeling, the gut feeling. I had the anxiety or whatever stress. I had that, but I was not listening to it. Now I do. So, like, for example, I have a lot of gifts. I can have people that come to me just to want to have channeled message all the time, but I'll see them like miles away coming to me, and I know that's what they want. So I'm going to say, well, book a free channel message, because I have this little, book that if you want that. But I'm not going to be working 24/7 because people around me want to have guidance, right? So for me, it's really about how does it feel? Does it feel like I'm pouring into you, you're pouring into me, or I'm always pouring and that's it? I'm never receiving.
It's okay. Look, it fascinates me in a way that how much I've changed and connecting with beautiful people. Like, it looks like we've known each other for years. This is what I was just saying to the Valina. I just had a chat before you, right? I connect more with you guys. You can see more of the real me with you. I don't even know. Let's be honest. We don't know each other from a bar of soap. Let's be honest. But let's be totally honest. But how good does it feel to actually connect purely with someone like with us? I mean, we could meet up and we could chat. It's just a lovely feeling, isn't it? When you get to that point in life.
I think it's when we understand what's good for us, what's less good for us, what makes us feel expanded, what makes us feel restricted, and then we meet people that activate us. Those are from our soul family, usually the same soul group, right? They have the same frequency. Then you're like, wow, that could have been all of my relationships before. I didn't know that. That's a lot more fun, right? This is a lot.
I'm just writing a couple of notes. Keep going. I'm just writing a couple of notes on that.
I think, and I know from my own experience of my dark night of the soul that I felt super alone and disconnected. And I was like, what in the hell am I doing here? I was not happy at my work. I was not happy with anything. And my biggest dream was I want to connect with my soul family. I don't want to be meeting people to talk about the weather or the politics. Or
how are we going today? As I said, it's a perfect example of what we're doing today, isn't it?
Yeah.
I always say to you, I mean, I've got friends, and I go, look, you could still be the black sheep of the family in some ways, or even if you go out, like I've got a friend of mine in the scene, we can have superficial comments with these people. We're not looking bad or anything. But when you just don't have that connection. But now, look, I connect more with you than I have with someone with 20 years. Let's be honest.
Exactly. And I think and that's when you understand that the programming around relationship is all wrong. It's like it's not supposed to take so much time to get to know someone. If you're vibrating at the same level, you'll feel it. There's going to be like this connection that is undeniable.
Keyword vibration, keyword.
Right? And all of those, I'm not saying that all relationships are perfect, but when you match with your soul group, it is enlightening. It is, I've always been a very deep person as far as conversation goes. And I know I was like annoying a lot of people in my life. They were like, why do you want to talk about these things? Like, can we just talk about purses and shoes I just bought? And I was like, no, it's not going to work with me. But and then I felt a lot alone. I felt alone my whole life. I was with a lot of people, but never connecting with the right souls.
No, I can't. I've got nothing to come back on that. I have absolutely nothing. I can just say absolutely 110%. 110%. Let's move on because we've got about 5 minutes to go. Let's move on to you. I want people to connect to you. Let's talk about what you can give someone. You've already said, I think if people don't connect with you now, I mean, look at you always had a beautiful smile from we've done 2 sessions for about an hour a bit, and you haven't stopped smiling. I mean, that's a wonderful thing. I mean, all our auras you can see our auras going up with this kind of stuff. Tell us what you're going to offer when people, not offer, that sounds like a sales pitch. When they connect with you as a person, how are you going to help them through their spiritual awakening? Go.
All right. So if you want to have a tribe, I do have memberships where we do healing. I answer questions, I talk about the energies, and I just help you release. It's twice a month or once a month, whatever you can afford. That's something that you can get. So you're releasing a lot of heaviness, regaining this connection with your soul, with who you really are. And you're like, oh my God, I could have been like that these old past weeks. Yes, you could. Or all of those years before. So that's one of the part of the things. And if you want to go deeper, release all of the heaviness of your life, all of the childhood trauma, the ties with ex-partners or current partners or family members, anything that's blocking you from stepping fully into your power, you can connect with me directly to have a one-on-one session. We'll look at your chakras, we'll look at your past lives, we'll look at everything that's coming up with the channeling and any codes and keys that you might need. And if you want to start your spiritual business, if it's something you would like, I also support people with channeling. So that's like kind of my level 1. So if you want to start channeling, understanding your clairsenses, unblocking all of your clairs from past lives, wounds, and other things, you can attend that. And otherwise, I have the spiritual business divine alignment program where I mentor people to start their own business. So if you want to start your own spiritual business, come with me, because everything that I've learned, I want to share.
Fantastic.
So that you can learn from.
Yes. Look, it's a case of, we all have our own gifts, and that's why I do what I do. I've had a wonderful time. I love doing these. I love doing my transit podcast with Jackie. A Life Theories crew, we have a heap of fun. But when Jackie and I have connected since I think this year, as I said to you, 31st, it's coming to an end tomorrow. That's the end of the cycle. Halloween to Halloween is when it all started. And when now it's all finished. Thank God. Go into astrology cycle. See how you have fun with that. It'll bring a new level of consciousness to yourself.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Wow.
But it's quite interesting. I looked at my chart and all of the planets. I'm like, holy crap! I didn't know this was talking about me and all of the planets. I was really impressed by what I could learn about myself with those. So we shall see what comes up with that. But that's going to be helping more myself understanding me so that I can understand more my beautiful clients.
Absolutely. Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get Annabelle's all her social media up on track for you, and we're gonna get you connected with our community. Where, as I say, I'm just connecting with other people to give them opportunity to not to sell themselves, to tell them how great they are. Let's be honest. Okay, I'm going to be let's throw the ego in, because it's all controlled, eh? So if you want to connect with Annabelle, or have all the details on after this, Annabelle, thank you so much for coming on the show.
You're welcome. Thank you for having
me. Very blessed when people take up my opportunity. And ladies and gentlemen, Annabelle's in Mexico. Love to go there. Watch the wrestling fan. Let's go with that. Gonna go watch Triple A, and we'll go and meet up, and we'll do some spiritual stuff on the side after we go and watch the wrestling. There we go. Go watch the luchadors jump. They say, Juventud Guerrero, love you, mate. Anyway, thank you so much. This has been an episode of A Chat with Jay as a part of the 1111 Spiritual Transit Podcast, with my partner in crime, Jackie Lyons from Canada, and of course, Life Theories. You can find us all on Spotify and all other streaming services. SoundCloud's coming out very, very soon. If you want to catch hold of Annabelle, details down below, or behind after the video is finished up here. And of course, we always finish off, Jackie and always finish off, because we're pro wrestling freaks, and we love Bret the Hitman Hart, former WWF champion, who's been an influence in our life. We get up in the morning and we say we want to be the best there is, best there was, best there ever will be, and always be your best self. Thank you so much, Annabelle. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll catch you next time on A Chat with Jay as a part of the 1111 Spiritual Transit Podcast. Thanks so much. We'll take care, and we'll see you later.